Imagine a hunger so deep it silences every other thought. In Gaza, summer 2025, this is daily life. Parents watch their children fade, their laughter replaced by weak cries of malnutrition. Every sunrise brings a frantic search for food. When rumors of aid spread, hope flickers, only to be met with gunfire. The line for food becomes a firing line. Civilians, teachers, shopkeepers, children risk death for a bag of flour. Survivors speak of chaos and terror of neighbors falling beside them, forced to choose between fleeing empty-handed or risking their lives. The United Nations confirms these are not combatants, but civilians, killed for seeking food in a man-made famine. Humanitarian aid meant to save lives has become a deadly trap. Nearly 1,400 Palestinians have been killed while seeking aid since late May 2025, a staggering number that signals a profound moral collapse. The act of giving has been twisted into an instrument of control and violence. The international community sends food, but on the ground that aid becomes the focal point for bloodshed. Places of hope have become killing fields. In Gaza, the price of survival is now measured in lives lost. In August 2025, UN experts confirmed what Gazans already knew: famine is here and it's man-made. Over 75% of Gaza's population is food insecure. Children are dying first. Over 90 lost to starvation so far. This is not a natural disaster, but the result of systematic obstruction of aid and destruction of food systems. While people starve, thousands of aid trucks wait outside Gaza, blocked by restrictions. In March, 80% of aid convoys were prevented from reaching those in need. Airdrops are costly and insufficient, a drop in the ocean compared to what's needed. The solution is clear: open the land crossings and let the aid in. Anything less continues the policy that has brought Gaza to the brink. Famine here is not fate, it's a choice made by those in power. 14-year-old Yusuf's world used to be school and football. Now it's hunger and fear. He hasn't had a full meal in months. His little sister grows weaker every day. When word of a food distribution spread, Yusuf promised his mother he'd bring back flour. He joined a desperate crowd, thinking only of his family's survival. Suddenly, gunfire erupted. Panic swept through the crowd. Yusuf was knocked down, paralyzed by fear. He saw a man collapse nearby. This was no warning shot, but a massacre. On July 30th, at least 58 people were killed near the Zikim Aid Center while waiting for food. Yusuf survived but returned home empty-handed, his spirit broken. The hope that sent him out was replaced by trauma. How does a parent explain this to a child? How does a community endure when seeking food means risking death? Yusuf's story is Gaza's story, a generation scarred by hunger, loss, and the world's indifference. Their innocence is gone, replaced by a lesson in cruelty. For Gaza's youth, survival is now an act of courage. Humanitarian aid should be neutral, but in Gaza, it's a weapon of war. Controlling food means controlling life and death. Bureaucratic hurdles and attacks on aid seekers turn survival into a battlefield. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, backed by the US and Israel, was meant to help, but killings continue. Over 850 people slain near aid sites since late May. Political visits and praise for aid efforts ring hollow against the reality of bloodshed. Israeli officials deny a policy of starvation, blaming Hamas, but international observers find no evidence of widespread aid diversion. The narrative war rages while people die. By controlling both aid and the story, those in power try to absolve themselves of war crimes committed in plain sight. Behind the headlines are real people. Like Fatima, a grandmother boiling herbs to soothe her orphaned grandchildren's hunger. They cry from hunger and I cry because I have nothing to give, she says. Dr. Ahmed, a physician, sees children with sunken eyes and swollen bellies. We have no food, no medicine. We watch children die of starvation. It's a failure of humanity. Khalid, a young journalist, risks his life to document attacks on aid convoys. They want us to die silently, but our stories must be a witness. Omar, a father, lost his son in a food line attack. He just wanted to bring us flour. They didn't just kill my son, they killed my hope. These voices echo across Gaza, demanding to be heard above politics and propaganda. The truth is written in blood on the pavement. The world must not look away. These are not statistics, they are lives, dreams, and families destroyed. The suffering is real, and so is the responsibility to act. Gaza's pain is a call for global conscience. Their stories are a testament to resilience and a plea for justice. Will we listen? Gaza's tragedy is broadcast in real time. The world is watching. International law forbids starvation as a weapon, yet accountability is absent. World powers issue statements, but their actions often enable the blockade and attacks. US officials praise aid efforts even as the death toll rises, a stark contradiction, but public outrage is growing. Protests erupt worldwide, demanding an end to the violence. Over 1,000 American rabbis and dozens of senators call for a ceasefire. This is a test for international institutions. Will they uphold justice or let impunity reign? Gaza's crisis is a mirror reflecting our shared morality. When headlines fade, Gaza's suffering remains. We cannot look away. To do so is to be complicit. The truth must be amplified. This is a moral crisis, not a geopolitical puzzle. Aid without protection is an illusion. The killing must stop. The blockade must end. Only a permanent ceasefire can allow real humanitarian relief. Accountability is essential, not for revenge, but for peace. Justice for Gaza's victims defends the rights of vulnerable people everywhere. The people of Gaza are not statistics. They are human beings with dreams and dignity. We must see their humanity, raise our voices, and demand compassion over cruelty. The history of this moment is being written now. Which side will we choose?